Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Thursday, September 23rd, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 668 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. QA. Non-conspiracy theorists say Gabby Petito was an actress and a false flag the mainstream media is using to distract Americans from Biden's failures. Neighbor says they saw Brian Laundrie and his parents leave their Florida home with an attached camper after he returned from his trip with Gabby Petito. Mexican TV personality known for her proposal to Tom Brady on the run after allegedly embezzling billions of pesos. Angry scenes at Haiti airport as deported migrants arrive. California first to set quota limits for retailers like Amazon. U.S. projections on drought at Colorado River grow more dire. Barhato's moment when Trump blew up over Durham, book. Two-time major champ Simona Halep, coach Darren Cahill split. Former Defense Secretary James Mattis told the Elizabeth Holmes jury that there came a point when I didn't know what to believe. An unprecedented event in modern medicine, what happens when a state fails to flatten the COVID curve? The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Rihanna steals the show in a glittering mini dress and hoodie for Savage X Fenty red carpet, Footwear News. Surface Duo 2 vs Surface Duo, everything new in Microsoft's folding phone, CNET. Melvin Van Peebles, trailblazing director and Black cinema champion, has died, CNN. Elizabeth Holmes was in charge of Theranos, says General Mattis, The Verge. Winged microchip is smallest ever human-made flying structure, the size of a grain of sand, see Tech Daily. Jerson Roses and his downfall, why the Timberwolves fired him just days before training camp, The Athletic. California Governor Newsom signs bill that curtails productivity quotas used by companies such as Amazon, The Washington Post. La Palma volcano eruption forces thousands to evacuate, NBC News. The Masked Singer premiere recap, Season 6, Episode 1, Octopus, TV line. FDA approves Pfizer COVID-19 booster shots for Americans ages 65 and older, The Guardian. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Michael Cohen predicts why he thinks Trump would back out of a 2024 run. Biden, Harris criticize Senate Republicans for tanking bipartisan police reform talks. Michael Flynn spreads bizarre conspiracy theory about vaccines in salad dressing. Brian Laundrie seen arguing in restaurant before Gabby Petito disappeared, witness says. FDA authorizes Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine booster shots for Americans 65 and older. What it's like to co-parent with an anti-vaxxer during COVID-19. Woman raped by Nicki Minaj's husband details how the couple allegedly harassed her. Joe Biden seeks to unite Democrats in do-or-die moment for his agenda. Susan Collins to endorse Paul LePage for another term as Maine governor. Pioneering black filmmaker Melvin Van Peebles dies. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Veterans help build home for fellow veteran. 515 employees had COVID at Miami airport. 2 Afghan refugees charged with federal crimes. Organization supports Chicago homeless. Convicted killer commits suicide in prison cell. Student, 17, accused of killing classmate. Community committed to ending area gun violence. Man first in Iowa to get new lungs after COVID-19. Shooting at a bus stop kills 16 YO student. State trooper with servant's heart laid to rest. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Gabrielle Petito and America's obsession with missing white women. Days before Germans vote, Merkel is where she didn't want to be, on the stump. Biden's deportation of Haitian migrants uses Trump-era immigration tactics. Pilot in deadly Albuquerque balloon crash had drugs in system, FAA says. Biden declared the war over, but wars go on. FDA authorizes Pfizer booster shot for higher-risk people. Newsom signs bill that could push Amazon to change labor practices. Biden huddles with Democrats as divisions threaten his agenda. Omi and a Hellcat, prominent YouTuber, is charged in $30 million fraud scheme. James Mattis, who sat on Theranos board, testifies in Elizabeth Holmes trial. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Amnesiac woman found bloodied and with no ID in Croatia was once a Hollywood jewelry designer. Hannity torches Biden's push to turn the page on Afghanistan crisis as Americans, allies remain trapped. In Graham, how Biden and Kerry's refusal to confront China is a symptom of being bought and paid for. Baltimore hits 250 homicides for 2021, with 25 in September. Senator John Kennedy blasts Biden administration's handling of the border crisis. Army vet tells harrowing story of trip to Del Rio, Texas. It was the biggest Biden rally I've ever been to. Louisiana convicted killer Kenneth Gleason dead in apparent prison cell hanging, report. Tucker Carlson exposes real estate companies wrecking America. Gabby Petito's stepfather lays a stone cross at spot where her remains were found. Victor Davis Hanson on U.S. attitude on illegal migrants, we prefer them over our own citizens. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Thursday, September 23rd. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. Man has prostate removed after mistaken cancer diagnosis, it's devastated me. Video, Survivor 41 Feet premiere tonight on CBS, Meet the Three Tribes. It was like a masterclass watching Jeff Daniels and Mauro Turney, Rob Yang on Showtime's American Rust. Chicago man was fed up with speed bump, so he smashed it to pieces, and got the ticket. Gabby Petito's cause of death pending as Brian Laundrie still nowhere to be found. $432 winning Meghan Millions ticket sold at Manhattan Pizza Shop. The next headlines are from the eighth most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. LNG-backed developer inspired villages accused of bombarding counselor. Shocking pictures show the squalid and fetid migrant camp under the Del Rio Bridge. All-boys netball team dominate girls team 46-12 in under-18 state final, sparking backlash. Dan Wooten, why did Boris go along with Joe Biden's absurd mask play acting? Boris Johnson, world leaders can tackle climate change and blow out the candles of a world on fire. Kit Kat finally reveals the correct way to eat the chocolate bar. Vaccine pioneer says virus will get weaker all the time. Kangaroo who was rescued from freezing waters in Canberra has been caught attacking a cyclist. RSPCA finds 17 decomposing dogs, cats and rabbits in dog breeder's home. Lady Louise Windsor, 17, takes center stage in Prince Philip, the royal family remembers. The following headlines are from the ninth most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. UN, in war, 16 million Yemenis marching towards starvation. Biden's 1.1 billion dose pledge, big, but not big enough, experts say. Surinama's vice president inserted himself into a pro soccer match, he's 60. Feeling trapped, migrants' fears grow in Mexican border city. Clowns lurked outside schools to promote a speech academy. Horrified parents called the police. 6 bodies thought to be those of Mexican indigenous men found. Mexican government charges against academics criticized. Charges of racism swirl as Haitian Americans, allies unite to protest Biden's border crisis. Pope jokes he is still alive despite some bishops wishing him dead. Ukraine's leader takes UN to task as retired superhero. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. The energy crisis no one saw coming, podcast. Sweeping George Floyd police reform bill stalls as talks collapse. Johnny Depp says no one's safe from cancel culture as he accepts Lifetime Achievement Award. FDA approves Pfizer COVID-19 booster shots for Americans ages 65 and older. Thousands of civilians flee Myanmar town after military clash with rebels. Biden administration to reopen migrant detention camp near Guantanamo Bay prison. Scientists use AI to create drug regime for rare form of brain cancer in children. Melvin Van Peebles, groundbreaking playwright and director, dies at age 89. Hawaii to remove forbidden staircase due to rampant trespassing. Britney Spears says she agrees with father that conservatorship should end. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Many migrants staying in U.S. even as expulsion flights rise. Melvin Van Peebles, godfather of black cinema, dies at 89. Bush 2 headline fundraiser for Cheney after Trump backs foe. FDA authorizes COVID-19 vaccine boosters for limited population. Biden tries to salvage agenda threatened by Democratic infighting. 16-year-old boy killed, 2 kids hurt in shooting at school bus stop. Fed foresees a potential rate hike as soon as next year. COVID case delays contentious redistricting in Oregon. Bipartisan police reform negotiations over without deal. Committee probing January 6 attack could subpoena Trump aides, sources. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Humanity reaching a turning point on climate, UK.pm. Evergrande, shares in crisis hit firm jump as debt deadline looms. AUKUS Pact, France and US seek to mend rift. US approves COVID booster jabs for some older and at-risk Americans. Angela Merkel, 4 expert verdicts on a contested legacy. Grim echoes of history in images of Haitians at US-Mexico border. Angela Merkel, what will Germans miss about the Chancellor? Central African Republic war, no-go zones and Russian meddling. Changing China, why Xi Jinping is leading a way back to socialism. Side-eyeing Chloe Clem to sell iconic meme as NFT. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Only on AP Pakistan urges patience in Afghanistan. Tropical depression 18 forms in Atlantic, could become Hurricane Sam this weekend, forecasters say. COVID-19 is spurring mental health crises in kids, Vanderbilt Children's Hospital chief says. Rising seas, sinking land, life on this Hurricane Ida battered Louisiana barrier island may never be the same. Jesse Jackson released after breakthrough infection, Americans are dying at almost 10 times the rate of July, COVID-19 updates. Today in history for September 23. John Walsh criticizes Florida police investigation of Gabby Petito case, it's pretty damn sad. Pilot in New Mexico hot air balloon crash that killed 5 had cocaine, marijuana in system, FAA says. Ukraine, world must condemn Crimean occupation. Southern California port sea backlog of cargo ships. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Don't be fooled, California's new housing laws make significant changes to zoning. Newsom signs bill taking aim at labor practices in Amazon warehouses. LA teachers to receive 5% raise, pandemic-related bonuses under tentative agreement. Female LAFD firefighters face hazing, retaliation, battalion chief testifies. LA County records big drop in COVID-19 hospitalizations. Operations briefly suspended at Hollywood Burbank Airport after unauthorized person enters airfield. Firefighters stop San Bernardino brush fire's progress, lift evacuation orders. What we know about Kristen Smart's disappearance and the case against Paul Flores. Wildfires approach more giant sequoias and worsen air quality across Central California. Scott Lay, chronicler of California politics with a must-read newsletter, dies at 48. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Thursday, September 23, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. French study warns of the massive scale of Chinese influence around the world. Taliban breaking instruments, ordering customers from karaoke parlors in latest crackdown. Afghan girls arrive in Portugal after U.S. and allies pull off Operation Soccer Balls to evacuate national team. 2-year-old Dalit child runs into temple in Karnataka, family fined Rs 25,000 for purification ritual. Melbourne, Australia to endure world's longest lockdown of 267 days. Fed up with anti-vaccination protests at schools, hospitals, Quebec Premier prepares special law to ban them. 107-year-old Japanese identical twins recognized as world's oldest. Spain will ban selling fruit and vegetables in plastic containers starting 2023. Brazil's Bolsonaro in COVID isolation after trip to UN. US and China must ban petrol and diesel cars by 2035, UK and Dutch governments warn. Erdogan, Mideast peace impossible if Israel continues oppressing Palestinians. France to send its ambassador back to the US following a Macron-Biden call. First Nation student reprimanded after not standing for O Canada. Air pollution causes 7 million premature deaths a year. The UN Health Agency now ranks air pollution on a par with smoking or an unhealthy diet. As a result, it has issued new, stricter guidelines they claim could save millions of lives. Germany to end quarantine pay for those without vaccinations. The next headlines are from Forbes. Sodexo Centerplate partnership rebrands globally as Sodexo Live. NCT 127 chart their 7th #1 album in Korea with sticker. EWA Grand Slam results, winners, news and notes from night 1. Olivia Dunn, Spencer Rattler and Brian Brissy among student athletes signing nil deals with Plant Fuel. U.S. will not fly Haitian migrants from Texas to Guantanamo Bay, DHS says. FDA authorizes Pfizer COVID booster shots for seniors and high-risk patients, but not for all Americans. 10 open questions for the $40 trillion ESG industry. Investors may be further left smarting after Evergrande as China retools economic policy. SNL announces first 4 hosts for season 47, SNL So White? Reverend Jesse Jackson released from health facility after month-long battle with COVID-19. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Normal, dust obscured galaxies in the epoch of reionization. Nucleation landscape of biomolecular condensates. Genetic and epigenetic coordination of cortical interneuron development. Paths and timings of the peopling of Polynesia inferred from genomic networks. Biologically informed deep neural network for prostate cancer discovery. Last words and little rebellions. The three major axes of terrestrial ecosystem function. Kainate receptor modulation by NITO2. Single photon nonlinearity at room temperature. Three-dimensional electronic microflyers inspired by wind-dispersed seeds. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,733,337,040 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. The $1.9 billion Spain-OVS hub plan, first details revealed at San Sebastian. Trailer for action thriller Omerta 6/12 unveiled by SF Studios exclusive. Brandi Carlile, Sturgill Simpson, John Prine win top prizes at Americana Awards. R. Kelly trial, where things stand as prosecution rests. Ben Affleck, Ty Sheridan get confessional in first look at George Clooney's The Tender Bar. Snakehead review, fabulous central performances lift this New York crime tale out of the ordinary. The Connors fans cameo as family members in live season 4 premiere dedicated to Norm Macdonald. How Lucasfilm made Star Wars, Visions the most ambitious Star Wars project since A New Hope. Facebook CTO Mike Schroep to step down next year. The Masked Singer premiere reveals the identity of the octopus, here's the star under the mask. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. He scrounged for food as a boy. Now, he hopes to be next president of the Philippines. Florida students are no longer required to quarantine after being exposed to COVID. The FDA okays Pfizer BioNTech booster for people 65 plus or at high risk for severe COVID. Lawsuits against Ohio State University over sex abuse by a teen doctor are dismissed. A giant of black cinema, Melvin Van Peebles dies at 89. In new filing, Britney Spears consents with a petition to end her conservatorship. At 100, the National Park Service's oldest active ranger is still going strong. Outside ethics group says 7 House lawmakers didn't disclose stock trades. The Evergrande Group's debt issues could be a drag on China's economy. More states are trying not to fill voting districts with prisoners who cannot vote. The following headlines are from The Week. Melvin Van Peebles, multi-talented godfather of modern black cinema, dies at 89. FDA authorizes Pfizer booster shots for seniors and high-risk individuals. Senator Susan Collins won't back abortion rights bill, arguing it contains extreme language. One theory as to why Elon Musk hasn't gone to space yet. Elizabeth Warren to Republicans, are you kidding me on the debt ceiling? Kabul's holdover mayor says he finds Taliban more tolerant. White House didn't act on suggestions to bolster processing in area where Haitian migrants gathered, emails suggest. The American coffee farming opportunity created by climate change. Britney Spears' attorney says her engagement is another essential reason to boot her father from conservatorship. Democrats scare off the median voter. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. What's the status of public integrity cases in Tarrant County and across the state? The next headlines are from Universe Today. Astronomers discover an intermediate mass black hole as it destroys a star. 3,600 years ago, a 50-meter-wide meteor exploded in the sky and destroyed a city near the Dead Sea. A particle physics experiment might have directly observed dark energy. NASA has a ballistic air gun to hurl rocks at spacesuits to test their micrometeorite protection. Using quasars as a new standard candle to define distance. These are the news headlines for today, Thursday, September 23rd. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Equinox sun is over Earth's equator. Bible story of Sodom revisited. Was it a meteor strike? Gamma Cephei, a future North Star. The next news is from Politico. Germany's Teflon candidate. Biden to tap Wall Street critic Omarova as top bank cop. Former Defense Secretary Mattis testifies in Holmes fraud trial. Opinion failure on Biden's reconciliation bill is very much an option. Biden cools Democratic fever over domestic agenda, but cannot cure it. FDA authorizes Pfizer-BioNTech booster shot for elderly people at high risk of severe COVID-19. Powell vows to tighten Fed ethics rules after stock trading uproar. 12 former security officials who warned against antitrust crackdown have tech ties. COVID-19 boosters, 5 takeaways from CDC's big vaccine meeting. Biden nominates longtime allies for 3 ambassadorships. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Former school principal Maugalai for order to stand trial. Melbourne protests live, Victoria police braced for 4th day of anti-vaccine protests. Great final expectations, not for D's and Dogs fans. Pakistan deserves better after disgraceful decision by England. Is the National Gallery of Australia's new sculpture worth a $14 price tag? Study reveals intrepid seafarer started in Samoa before settling Polynesia. To Melbourne protesters, the shrine is not for you. Government rejects lavish eco-resort on southwest coast. Energy Australia to close NSW coal power plant early. Not even Melissa McCarthy can save mawkish drama the Starling. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. TaxWatch, people are upset, will proposed IRA tax changes targeting the rich hurt smaller nest eggs? Market Extra, Fed opens overnight repo spigot as Wall Street stares down barrel of U.S. debt ceiling fight. White House to host Intel, Apple, Microsoft execs to discuss chip shortage. Retirement hacks, when you should, and shouldn't, invest in a Roth 401k. Whether COVID-19 boosters get approved or not, Pfizer and Moderna have already made their money. New California law protects Amazon warehouse workers facing quotas. The Wall Street Journal, Biden expected to name Wall Street bank critic to watchdog post. The Tell, behind bond markets muted response to Federal Reserve's rate outlook may be a message for policymakers. The Fed, hawks rule the woosted Fed, economists say. IPO report, Toast stock pops more than 50% in IPO debut. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Texas history minute, Boykin's inventions usher changes in electronics, Waco Tribune Herald. PTAB obviousness challenge successfully defended by Merck Sharp and Dohme, the National Law Review. Bridge between research and commercialization, Mirage News. Serendia, LLC files patent infringement lawsuits against Cartesa and Shen relating to radio frequency microneedling devices, PR Newswire. Inspiring the next generation of inventors through STEM Educ, CSRwire.com. AI system cannot be named as the inventor on a patent, UK court rules, Financial Times. Britain to weigh IP reforms and bid to lead AI regulation, Law 360. UK announces a national strategy to level up AI, TechCrunch. Equity net surpasses 200,000 members and $600 million raised, Globe Newswire. Clarivat recognizes most influential innovators in South and Southeast Asia, iNews. The next headlines are from Quartz. How restaurant tech company Toast's valuation climbed $25 billion in 10 months. Can the UN help Afghan women without supporting the Taliban? Junk mail. Watch PwC's Shannon Schuyler on how to evolve good managers into even better allies. A researcher who foresaw Evergrande's troubles says it's a pyramid scheme. The Roald Dahl universe will now belong to Netflix. What financial weapons of mass destruction are telling us about Evergrande? Male CEOs get paid more when they have deep, manly voices. Watch Invescoskolian Meadows on building a better economy through equitable investing. Mumbai has the world's top-ranked startup ecosystem, again. The following headlines are from TechDirt. Billy Mitchell lets his site lapse, with a critic of his high score claims swooping in to take it over. Content moderation case study, Bing search results erases images of Tank Man on anniversary of Tiananmen Square crackdown, 2021. Hong Kong government arrests 4 members of pro-democracy Hong Kong Alliance, shuts down its online presence. Welcome to the new TechDirt Greenhouse panel, content moderation at the infrastructure level. The night the United States Supreme Court canceled law. Daily Deal, Adgard family plan. Unsealed documents in Nunes Family Farms lawsuit against Ryan Liz raise more questions about the lawsuit than they answer. Apple training videos highlight company's adversarial stance on affordable repairs. North Carolina sued by Flying Dog Brewery over regulatory body refusing to allow sales due to offensive label. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Chicago PD. Masked Singer. The Wonder Years. Real Madrid vs Mallorca. Steam. Melvin Van Peebles. Halloween. Conor McGregor first pitch. Survivor Season 41. Manchester United. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Melbourne, reeling from protests against COVID-19 restrictions, sets new world record for longest lockdown. No one is safe. Actor Johnny Depp calls for revolt against cancel culture, warns that it takes one sentence to destroy someone. Tourist arrested for using fake Moderna vaccine pass wanted in Hawaii after skipping virtual court hearing. FDA greenlights Pfizer booster shots for elderly and those aged 18 plus at high risk from COVID-19, leaving room for interpretation. Send Haitian migrants to Gitmo, report that small detention facility in Guantanamo Bay will house migrants sparks outrage. Worse than slavery, Democrat Maxine Waters slams Border Patrol whipping Haitian migrants. U.S. House Democrats curtail GOP minorities' ability to seek investigations of Biden administration, media. Democrats demand sanctions against 35 Russians, including Prime Minister, alleging human rights abuses. Candace Owens skewers MSNBC's read over missing white woman syndrome, points to disparities in reporting of police violence. Washington Elementary School walks back insane rule asking students to wear masks while eating. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Do the global managers really want the pandemic to end? Bill Gross's feud with his neighbor is a cockroach that just won't die. Escobar, Eurasia takes shape, Part 1, How the SCO just flipped the world order. Russia uses AUKUS spat to highlight shock of disunity for NATO. Greenwald, a definitive account of the CIA media big tech fraud over Hunter Biden emails. China locks down northeastern city after discovering first outbreak since February. Watch, liberal media darling George W. Bush confronted by Iraq veteran. JP Morgan being investigated by Brazilian authorities over potential oil bribes. House progressives strip $1 billion in military aid for Israel from stopgap funding bill. Not the Onion, UN mulling Taliban request to address General Assembly. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. U.S. judge orders Facebook to release entire Rohingya account records. UK PM Johnson tells world to grow up and tackle climate change. Melbourne braces for more protests amid record COVID cases. Ex-US defense chief testifies how he was deceived by Elizabeth Holmes. Algeria closes airspace to all Moroccan planes. Talks on police reform sought by BLM protesters fail in Congress. Tunisia said issues decree strengthening presidential powers. Conditions worsen for Haitian migrants on US-Mexico border. What's fueling the world's COVID-19 vaccination disparity? U.S. economy, Fed says tapering bond buying may soon be warranted. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Pentagon, we're aware of reports of Afghan refugees in U.S. facing food, clothing shortages, harassing women. FDA approves Pfizer booster shots for senior citizens, high-risk patients. 2 Afghans brought to U.S. charged with child sex crimes, strangling wife while living on WI military base. Video, New York panhandler hurls brick at 63-year-old man's face. Exclusive Rep Devin Nunes, optimistic John Durham will pursue larger conspiracy of Clinton FBI Russia hoax. Kerry, protecting planet first and foremost in dealings with China, not human rights, life is full of tough choices. Report, Wuhan lab sought funding to create, release enhanced coronaviruses into bats. Exclusive John Ondrasik, Andrew Breitbart is a big part of my inspiration for new song Blood on My Hands. Zeldin, very telling that Dems take a stand on funding Iron Dome, not American equipment going to Taliban. George Will, quarantine Republicans addicted to furiousness. The next headlines are from UPI News. Maryland man wins $100,000 from Ravens 5X scratch-off ticket. Maryland authorities capture python near playground. South Carolina beachgoer encounters octopus in shell. Suriname's vice president sets record for oldest soccer player. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Lost sea turtle washed ashore with hypothermia gets flown home to Spain with its own boarding pass. Firefighters have been winning the battle to protect sequoia's giant trees, using foil blankets. Look. Listen to millions of monarch butterflies making one of the rarest sounds on Earth. Bezos Earth Fund pledges $1 billion to conserve land and sea in critical areas. We can and must reverse this. Old Irish goats return to hills of Dublin after a century to join firefighting brigade and they're loving it. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Thursday, September 23rd. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Drawing stages of the mech, finished, back to pencil. Scientists are trying to save Texas ocelots, so they send testicles to Ohio. Toronto cop gets 3-month demotion for firing at a missing man who had back turned. Black Americans resettling in Ghana. Mom and daughter killed adult film actress with backyard butt implants, cops say. Court ruling gives dog owners less privacy than their dogs. The ruling declared dog owner names and addresses can be made public but that the names of their dogs cannot be. Kansas boys bug collection garners blue ribbon at state fair, and federal investigation. The student science project included a spotted lanternfly, an invasive species, that officials did not yet know reached the state. Crack engineer invents virus-killing chip that disinfects itself. Man caught retrieving €58,000 worth of drugs from a field in the middle of the night claims he was out dazzling rabbits, court told. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Historical strategy game Victoria 3 will simulate the slave trade, should it? Researchers tap AI in search of new wonder materials. First impressions, everything Microsoft announced at its 2021 Surface event. Surface Laptop Studio hands-on, my perfect laptop doesn't exist. A kid's replica of James Bond's car exists and it must be mine. Want to shoot amazing drone footage to wow the web? This training can help turn you into a drone master user. Now is the time to lock in the verified fastest VPN service anywhere at 80% off. 3D printed rocket engines are powering the commercial space age. Xiaomi has the power to censor your phone, report claims. Researchers have created holograms you can touch. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Sex and the Symbiont, can algae hookups help corals survive? How a city's design creates congestion. Metals supercharged promising method to bury harmful carbon dioxide under the sea. Those earrings are so last year, but the reason you're wearing them is ancient. Wind energy can deliver vital/to global warming. Early Homo sapiens groups in Europe faced subarctic climates. New research sniffs out how associative memories are formed. Hubble finds early, massive galaxies running on empty. Engineers discover way to turn organic waste into renewable biofuel additives using radiation. Ultrapotent antibody against SARS-CoV-2 variants isolated. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Thursday, September 23rd from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. Space station crew to relocate Soyuz, make room for new crewmates. NASA, FAA invite media to briefing on air traffic control updates. NASA invites media to Webb telescope pre-launch events in French Guiana. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Climate Change Hub would retrofit old salon for a greener Salt Lake. Federal judge rejects much of Ute tribe's water rights lawsuit. Experience the best at the first annual Salt City Best Fest. No signs of Gabby Petito's boyfriend after days of searching. U.S. projections on drought at Colorado River grow more dire. COVID-19 creates dire U.S. shortage of teachers, school staff. Jury awards $25 to former Bayou star in trial against blinds maker over daughter's death. 200th episode of Mormon Land, experts explore Mormonism and sex. It's more than just for making babies but less than anything goes. Crash during police pursuit kills fleeing car's passenger, injures driver. Confused by health insurance terminology? Here's everything you need to know. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. We need software updates forever. Jumping gene may have erased tails in humans and other apes. TikTokers are trading stocks by copying what members of Congress do. FDA authorizes Pfizer booster shots for older and at-risk Americans. First RISC-V computer chip lands at the European Processor Initiative. Robinhood will start testing crypto wallets next month. The Fed is evaluating whether to launch a digital currency and in what form. Apple CEO Tim Cook in leaked memo, we are doing everything in our power to identify leakers. Microsoft debuts Surface Duo 2 dual-screen Android phone with larger displays and 5G. Facebook Chief Technology Officer Mike Schroepfer to step down. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Windsor C1 School District tables mask mandate vote, keeps masks optional. Students plan walkout after racist graffiti found in high school bathrooms. Volunteers trim trees at Jefferson Barracks as part of Saluting Branches program. FDA backs Pfizer COVID-19 boosters for seniors, high risk. Missouri Vaccine Lottery, Round 3 winners announced. New Missouri Health Director working to rebuild public trust in health officials. When to enjoy the fall colors along the Great River Road. Viral TikTok video questions recent shootings of black women in St. Louis. First day of fall, the science behind it. Additional Missouri counties surpass 40% full vaccination against COVID-19. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. We are devastated, parents, kids outraged after neighborhood built dirt bike track demolished. Pair of grade school boys jump fence to rescue infants from pool. Out of hand, community shaken by shooting that killed 16-year-old. Alleged Mexican cartel operative charged with drug trafficking. San Diego school is first in county to mandate vaccine for kids 12 and up. Cool down coming, San Diego County to catch break from heat. Marine stabbed in fight at Camp Pendleton base housing. Sheriff search for man suspected of sexual assault in North County. Sexually violent predator proposed for placement in Rancho Bernardo home. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Architecture, 10 amazing contemporary buildings in China. Food delivery giants Xiaomi and Meituan promise to stop treating delivery workers like disposable garbage, sort of. Calls to end China initiative intensify after An Minghu acquittal. Minimal China. Jiang Zemin and the PRC's first orderly transfer of power. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Thursday, September 23, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Oakland School Board to vote on vaccine mandate for students 12 and older. Marin Water exploring desalination to tackle severe drought. Home sales dipped in August after 2 months of increases. Warriors owner fined for violating anti-tampering rule. Kansas grade school boys jump fence to rescue infants from pool. DUI driver arrested after ramming into patrol car in Sassoon City, police. East Bay Middle School renamed after Betty Suskin on her 100th birthday. Northern California man, daughter kicked out of store for wearing mask. Raiders kicker earns NFL honors. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Dolphins say Tagovailoa broke ribs, won't play versus Raiders. Al East leading Rays beat Jays 7-1, clinch postseason berth. After Northeast flooding, insurance woes swamp residents. Why it may be better to wait for COVID-19 booster. Is the Delta variant of the coronavirus worse for kids? Leading off, Bassett back, Chiefs try to clinch, Max starts. Today in history. Mexican government charges against academics criticized. Itasca panel votes unanimously against Haymarket Drug Treatment Center. Bartlett man sentenced to 15 years for 7-Eleven robbery. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Seattle's Climate Pledge Arena to feature Amazon's Just Walk Out shopping technology. First day of autumn, 7 of Seattle's best parks and trails to see fall foliage. Report, Washington's top public and private high schools are all in the Seattle metro area. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Peter 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone 1821, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Rose 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Twintyone 21, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Brazil, Drought is ongoing in Canada, United States. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Turkey. Drought is ongoing in Cameroon, Nigeria. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Thursday, September 23rd in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Houston Metro Lyft drivers worry about fatigue during long shifts, draining. Recent rash of teen shootings cause alarm for activists. 16-year-old boy hospitalized after being shot in East Houston. School named after National Park Ranger Betty Reed Suskin on her 100th birthday. Bubble Boy's impact still felt 50 years after his birth. Nice and cool Thursday morning. Family of teen killed in Galena Park neighborhood pleads for answers, we have to stop. U.S. sees 40% increase in police officers killed while on duty in 2021. Create colorful memories of picturesque in Burbank. Deadly double shooting investigation underway at North Harris County apartment complex. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Wildfire victims left with nothing get hope from donated RVs. A leg up on life, tech helps former Rwandan orphan give back. The AP interview, top Pakistan diplomat details Taliban plan. The latest New Zealand's PM hopes to avoid future lockdowns. AP photos, weeds, sewage choke Kashmir's famed Dal Lake. Tensions grow as U.S. allies deepen Indo-Pacific involvement. Vaccine inequity comes into stark focus during UN gathering. WhatsApp, social posts help lead Haitian migrants to Texas. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. MTA pledges to step up mask enforcement, reminds riders of $50 fine. Judge lifts restraining order on vaccine mandate for NYC school staff. Extra extra, nothing good happens when clowns hang around outside schools. Coronavirus stats, back to school edition, tracking outbreaks in NYC education. Assembly's report into Cuomo's alleged misdeeds will be done very soon. Saturday Night Live taps Owen Wilson, Kim Kardashian West, Rami Malek and Jason Sudeikis to host first episodes of season 47. Controversial Crown Heights towers officially rejected by City Planning Commission. Guardians of Democracy bristle under questioning, citing pace of NY election reforms. See the original, annotated script of A Streetcar Named Desire stage production. Another detainee in NYC jail dies, 12th death in custody this year. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Climate finance can transform food systems. Vaccines for all key to building back better after COVID-19, Kenyan president. Venezuela demands the end of sanctions and urges leaders to build a new world. Through the tears too, solutions for a better society have sprung up, Estonian president. Millions in Yemen a step away from starvation. Women leaders hailed for COVID-19 response. King of Saudi Arabia says peace is top priority for his country. BRICS puts on annual show of unity. Myanmar, UN expert says current international efforts failing, urges change of course. We could end the pandemic, UN chief says a new call for global vaccine plan. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. County clerk submits report that Colorado Secretary of State and Dominion destroyed election data. DHS head Alejandro Mayorkas horrified by images showing Border Patrol trying to protect our border. Video, Bill Gates an awkward interview about Jeffrey Epstein. FK the jab, long live Australia 20,000 shut down Melbourne highway in massive lockdown protest. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. COVID-19 creates dire U.S. shortage of teachers, school staff. Former U.S. military leader testifies in Elizabeth Holmes fraud trial. Melvin Van Peebles, godfather of black cinema, dies at 89. Many migrants staying in U.S. even as expulsion flights rise. Flynn's vaccine and salad dressing comment not as crazy as it sounds. Can you exchange used candles at Bath & Body Works? Yes, rapper Lil Nas X performed Dolly Parton's iconic Jolene. Did Winston Churchill say a nation that forgets its past has no future? Met season to open with first ever opera by black composer. Did Kamala Harris honor McCain's captors at Monument in Vietnam? The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Debt limit Q&A. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Alter Ego is the most dystopian reality competition yet. Army officer, I took all the other vaccines but I won't get COVID jab because freedom. Seth Meyers hits Joe Manchin for massive climate conflict of interest. Conspiracy firm behind Arizona audit defies order to release behind-the-scenes texts. FDA approves booster shots for those over 65 are at high risk. Fed's closing case, R. Kelly hid crimes in plain sight. Disturbing bystander video shows cops stand by as dog mauls black man. Conspiracy spewing lawmaker holds $27 million in vax aid hostage. Retiree planted bombs around Michigan in insane anti-porn crusade, FBI says. This spy's rich MAGA ex-lover couldn't save her from election fail. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Highly criticized Yankees duo comes through at crucial time. Colorado University student busted with large cache of weapons on campus. Feds indict 2 Afghan refugees on child sex, spousal assault charges. Trevon Free tells Jalen Rose how he went from basketball to TV writing. Red Bulls get last second draw versus NYCFC after review gives handball. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Jupiter's aurorae trigger heat waves. How many satellites are orbiting Earth? You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine booster. Delta variant surge may be peaking as U.S. daily deaths top 2,000. Unvaccinated pregnant women face increased risks from COVID. Devastating photos of tornado damage. Health experts worry flu season and coronavirus could create twindemic. Hubble discovers 6 massive, dead galaxies from early universe. Spanish islands erupting volcano could remain a threat for months. Doctor on school reopenings and impact of COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy. Late-night comedians team up to tackle the climate crisis. Johnson & Johnson says second shot is 94% effective against coronavirus. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Victim of infamous serial killer Samuel Little identified in Mississippi 44 years after murder. U.S. Olympians must be vaccinated for 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing. Mother of 4 who proudly proclaimed her anti-vax status dies of COVID. Biden doubles U.S. donation of COVID vaccine to 1.1 billion doses. Boston school takes party bus with stripper pole and neon lights on field trip due to bus driver shortage. NYC Councilwoman Alika Emprich Samuel slated to become the next regional administrator for HUD. Scott Peterson to be resentenced to life in prison after death penalty overturned. FDNY computer outage delayed NYC ambulances and cut communications, exclusive. Canadian man punched nurse who vaccinated wife without his authorization, police say. The following headlines are from military.com. Pentagon's first wave of sexual assault reforms will take 6 years to complete. Pentagon setting up flights for migrants amid Texas border surge. New push on to expand nuclear radiation compensation in U.S. VA will keep paying caregiver benefits during review that could cut off 1/3 of enrolled 9/11 vets. Recruiting women and people of color has gotten harder. The Air Force thinks diverse leadership will help. Army's denial of housing allowances draws potential class action lawsuit. Chaos and drama, a new report sheds light on what went wrong aboard the Navy's COVID-stricken carrier. 4 Marines injured in Kabul airport attack remain at Walter Reed nearly 1 month later. NATO leader, allies need to stand together amid subflap. U.S. top military officer meets with Russian counterpart. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Family drops lawsuit aiming to force Libertyville Hospital to provide ivermectin treatment for COVID-19 patient. 2 15-year-old Simeon students fatally shot hours apart, one a few blocks from school. This is really sad and nobody is doing anything about it. R. Kelly used persona to hide crimes in plain sight. Prosecutors argue as singer's racketeering trial in New York winds down. Former Chicago police sergeant pleads guilty to misdemeanor battery charges in 2018 off-duty bar brawl. Despite reduction of cops in Chicago schools, Board of Ed votes to pay $11 million to police department for resource officers. CPS has tallied nearly 500 COVID-19 cases, still has no safety agreement with teachers union, already calls number very low. Melvin Van Peebles, groundbreaking filmmaker, actor and novelist, dies at 89. Illinois Supreme Court hears arguments on Deerfield assault weapons ban. Can Cook County cut ties with companies that donated to Texas abortion ban backers? A county commissioner aims to find out. More than 90% of CPS students showed up on the first day of school and the first full reopening since COVID-19 shutdown. The following headlines are from FIS.org. NASA finds 2021 Arctic summer sea ice 12th lowest on record. Seeking climate-smart strategies for root, tuber and banana crops in Central Africa. Metals supercharge a promising method to bury harmful carbon dioxide under the sea. Cavers find snakes but no genies in Yemen's well of hell. Electoral cycles influence destruction of Atlantic rainforest areas in southern and southeastern Brazil. Study explores the role of landlords in housing discrimination. A history of colorism sheds light on discrimination today. Some animal species can survive successfully without sexual reproduction. Team creates micro-robots propelled by air bubbles and ultrasound. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Thursday, September 23rd, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. Mattresses that won't sag. What is the best mattress for heavy individuals? Fall means more deer on the road. 4 ways time of day, month and year raise your risk of crashes. Autopsies on hold. Why we need more medical examiners. Engineers make flying computer chips the size of sand grains. When taste and smell disappear for good. What is the best mattress for side sleepers? The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. NL East leading Braves overcome Duval's lost HR in victory. Mariners post another must-win over Oakland A's. Photos, Mariners win in Oakland, 4-1. Sounders cannot hold lead against Club Leon of Mexico, lose League's Cup Final 3-2. Biden presses fellow Dems, resolve party split on $3.5 trillion plan. Senators, bipartisan police overhaul talks end with no deal. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Oakland A's look uninspired in third straight loss to Seattle Mariners, lose ground in wild card. South San Francisco woman found guilty of second-degree murder. Oakland A's attendance at Coliseum plummets amid postseason push. SF Giants hopeful Tukey veteran pitchers can rejoin club before end of season. Pokemon Go analysis, Zarude and Shiny Rufflet are the big catches for Secrets of the Jungle event. Sunnyvale, man arrested on suspicion of killing relative. COVID, Fremont's huge art and wine festival cancelled for second consecutive year due to pandemic. Contra Costa County restaurants brace to police the public with COVID vaccine checks. COVID, FDA backs Pfizer boosters for seniors, those in high-risk situations. California woman wants hospital order to give ivermectin to her husband, a COVID-19 patient. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. House Democrats introduce standalone bill to fund Iron Dome. Glenn Youngkin leads Terry McAuliffe in Virginia governor's race, poll. Afghan evacuees charged with assaults at Fort McCoy. Faith leaders gather at White House to boost Biden's infrastructure plans. Exclusive, U.S. Chamber of Commerce pressing House Republicans to save $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill. Geraldo Rivera, Brian Laundrie should kill himself. Steve Chuckery, Maricopa County official, resigning after secret election audit recording released. George W. Bush boosts Liz Cheney's campaign amid Trump, allies assault. Florida abortion bill replicates Texas sweeping ban. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Dark money group to donors, reconciliation bill can still be killed. Senate parliamentarian played highly political role against filibuster reform in 2013. A slate of more than 50 progressive candidates looks to take over Rhode Island. Hurricane Ida prison evacuations in Louisiana left people without medication in bird-infested shelter. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Thursday, September 23, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Horoscope for Thursday, September 23, 2021. Things to do at museums and galleries in Chicago. Things to do in Chicago for movie fans. Kyle Hendricks improves, but Twins defeat Cubs behind Max Kepler's big day. Sky back in familiar single elimination playoff scenario. Will this year be different? Park District hires former prosecutor to complete lifeguard misconduct probe. First Women's Bank opens in Chicago with goal of fixing gender lending gap. It's just a dark day today. Simeon students cope with the fatal shootings of two classmates hours apart. Jimenez, Slominus start in Fire's 3-2 loss to New England Revolution. SWAT standoff ends in Old Town after police learn call was phony, my phone was hacked. The next headlines are from the Times of India. IPL 2021, DC vs SRH, the big match highlights. Audi disagrees with Mark on lowering import duty. Motivated verse against political rivals across states, SC. Government warns Android users of banking scam, details. Sony's merger has cricket written all over it. Apple CEO's message to employees who leak info. Read Facebook's warning to investors on Apple iOS 15. Cowan vaccine certificates foolproof, have all details. Mahant's death, V mark on Jerry's neck, no external injury, Yogi seeks CBI probe. Live, India reports 31,923 new COVID cases in last 24 hours. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Thursday, September 23, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Anti-abortion groups don't plan to sue bond-breaking duck. Hangar Kitchen, great food at a hidden gem. Best of Houston 2021, Best Sushi. Full-time Houston Press News reporter job opening. Best of Houston 2021, Best Breakfast, Midtown. Save the date, Best Games to watch future Texans quarterbacks. Preview, Mixed Rep at Houston Ballet and season opener. This week's best concerts. The next headlines are about world records making news. World record online sale price for racehorse bred by Southlanders, Stuff Co. NZ. World record, why not, says Amanila after Audibit's fate, The Star, Kenya. Tokyo 2020, world record gold and Americans in the last swimming competition, R&R magazine, www.randarlife.co.uk, rest and relax. Tang Yuhan sets Chinese record in 200 freestyle in duel with Yang Jiangsuan, Swimming World magazine. Burkina Faso, strongmen who used to be bullet breaks world record for log lifting, face to face Africa. Katarina Srebotnik becomes Guinness World Record holder, Tennis magazine. Eric Hernandez will go after a new world record in the control of the ball, Radio Cadena Agramont. 12 celebrities that hold Guinness World Records the richest. Harinder Sekhan, world record jumper and cricketer, muscle and fitness. 107-year-old sisters take Guinness World Record as world's oldest twins, Today.com. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. FDA authorizes Pfizer boosters for people 65 and older and those at high risk for severe COVID-19. Tim Cook tells employees that the company is hunting down leakers. The Oscars Museum is a must-see destination for die-hard film fans. Jason Momoa dedicates his kick-ass Dune fight scene to his former Khaleesi. Comcast is trying to be Roku now. 7 mind-bending horror thrillers to fill you with good stress. Stalkerware company reportedly finds new way to suck. The Fellowship of the Ring's introduction to the Shire is perfect. How to prep your Apple devices to sell them. Why a real Facebook ad boycott is doomed. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Raghine in Algeria at 112.1 degrees Fahrenheit or 44.5 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Vostok in Antarctica at minus 92.92 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 69.4 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Following expert advice, FDA authorizes boosters for people 65 plus, high risk. Idaho COVID crisis, hospitals overflowing with sicker, younger patients. New genomic analysis sorts out when Polynesians reached which islands. Security audit raises severe warnings on Chinese smartphone models. Apple's newest 10.2-inch iPad is already $30 off. Apple rolls major Safari redesign out to Macs ahead of Monterey release. Larger screen Surface Pro 8 gets its biggest redesign since the Surface Pro 3. All-new Surface Laptop Studio is a convertible replacement for the Surface Book. Surface Go 3 is a processor bump for Microsoft's smallest tablet. Microsoft Surface Duo 2 gets better specs, an even bigger $1,499 price tag. The following headlines are from Raw Story. GOP governor refuses pandemic mandates as third health officer quits in 1 week. Twitterless Trump trashes Lindsey Graham in late-night email rampage whining that his coup attempt failed. Trump lost, but his lawyers say law does apply to him now as the 45th President of the United States. Illinois GOP candidate blames $3,200 unpaid California tax bill on paperwork error. This is not complicated. Magdal blasts anti-vaxxers as yet another GOP-led state rations hospital care. Arizona auditors cyber ninjas are defying court orders to hand over internal text messages. Seems like a foolish strategy. Ex-prosecutor reveals why Trump may come to regret suing his niece. CNN blows the whistle on Trump-promoted anti-vax doctor who's accused of selling people junk. Angry woman accuses school board of waging psychological warfare and calls masks worse than the virus. Trump's lawsuit against his niece could be a huge mistake that may make all his NDAs worthless. Biographer. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Beto O'Rourke says it's no secret he's thinking of running for governor. It's all about voting rights. In California's water wars, nuts are urging out people. Trump packed a federal land agency off to Colorado. Biden is bringing it home. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. UVA's new John Mather Nobel Scholar wants to design extraterrestrial habitats, University of Virginia. Dr. Sophia Sheikh awarded National Science Foo, Uric Alert. Graduate alumna awarded NSF-MPS Ascend Fellowship to work at the SETI Institute. Penn State University, Penn State News. Apple TV Plus releases Invasion trailer, TV News Roundup, Variety. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Rosalind Franklin University collaborates with Aptinyx to research new therapeutics for brain diseases, PR Newswire. Angiogenesis biomarkers in ischemic stroke patients cheer, Dove Medical Press. Tongue strength training increases daytime upper airway stab NSS, Dove Medical Press. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. Bank of America identifies tech stocks with outsized growth potential, CMC Markets. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Thursday, September 23, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Thursday, September 23, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.